What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Noname back at it with another New York Giants video. Today we got the New York Giants versus Chicago Bears preview / keys to success? Question mark? I don't know. I added in the question mark because for those of you that don't know, that maybe haven't looked at my past couple of videos or are some new subscribers which coming over from the Entertainer's channel, which by the way, shout out to the Entertainer. A lot of you probably do know him already, but if you don't, go check his channel out, go subscribe. He is the best Giants YouTuber out there in my opinion, you know, one of the best if not the best. He had me on his channel just today. In fact, we did a little live stream together, talk Giants. He helped me expose my channel, all that. And in the beginning, for those of you that don't know, he actually helped me set it up too, in terms of like, you know, advice and stuff like that. So shout out to the Entertainer. Thank you all of my new subscribers for pulling up. Thank you for all my current subscribers. And now, I don't want to spend too much time on that because I am a little bit pressed for time. I want to get this video out to you guys by 6 o'clock the latest. So let's just get right into the preview, which I said, for those of you that don't know, I do think that losing games is the way to go for Giants. Tanking. I don't like to call it tanking because of the negative connotation. It implies that I'm going out there every week and I'm cheering for my team to perform terribly and for my team to lose. That's not the situation. For me, it's I know in my heart of hearts, the best thing for the Giants to do is to get a better draft pick so we can get somebody good, whether it's on the offense or defense. And the only way to do that is by losing. I mean, you know, that's how it works. The more games you lose, the better of a draft pick you get. So it's terrible, but I'm not going to go out there and cheer for them to lose. But the situation is, it's going to be in our best interests to lose. So that's what I'm going to preface it by saying. And I'm still going to give what I think we should do to win, because ultimately, as a Giants fan, which I am, you know, first more than anything, I would love to see them win. I would love to see them go out there, run the table, so to speak, go 8-8, end the season off. But you know, when you think long term, it's like, how much does that do for us? You know, yeah, we might get to see what we really have in our defensive side. We'll get to see more development, because that's what it would take for this team to run the table and go 8-8. Like an exponential rate of development on offense, defense, and special teams. It will take, you know, way better coaching. All of a sudden, you know, like a flip of a coin, flip the switch. All of a sudden, we're good. That's what it would take, and I would love for that to happen. But after that, we're kind of middle of the pack in the draft. Who do we get? You know, just long term, in my opinion, I think it's better to have a top caliber pick, right? So, with all that being said, very long intro. Let's get into this Giants versus Bears preview, Week 12. The 2-8 Giants against the 4-6 Bears, who we actually defeated last year in an OT thriller. And I was at that game. That was the game I went to last year. Every year I try to go to a Giants game. The one I picked out last year was against the Bears. We just so happened to win. It's a great game, you know. Overtime, it had everything you could wish for. Great offense, great defense by the Giants, especially BJ Hill. You know, great performance by Saquon, all that. And you could argue we were helped out by the fact that Mitch Trubisky wasn't starting, but given his performance this year, who is really better, Trubisky or Daniels? In my opinion, there's not that much of a gap between them. Chase Daniels sometimes looks better in that Bears offense than Mitch Trubisky does. And Trubisky, in all honesty, has been a little bit of a disappointment for not just, you know, the NFL fans in general, but I would have to say for Bears fans. I'm not a Bears fan, I can't speak for them, but I would assume he is. And he might not be playing. It's not confirmed yet. At least, you know, I'm scrolling through ESPN, you know, Fox Sports 1, all that, not confirmed yet. But it's looking like Daniels will start, and that's definitely a plus for the Giants side, that Giants defense side, where we are ranked one of the worst teams in the NFL all round, you know. I think we're 23rd in the run, but like 29th in the pass or something like that, because our secondary is full of young guys that still have a lot to learn, a lot of them under rookie contracts, and the veterans just are not playing good at all. Janoris Jenkins is on and off. He's been good since the Buccaneers game, but his motivation has been very questionable since the same game. Antoine Buffet, not sure why we still have him out there, in my opinion. You guys can go check out my bye week video. I said there's no reason for James Betcher not to be starting the younger guys out there, such as Julian Love and whatnot. And signs do point to him getting a lot of time this game. But that's like we just have nobody back there other than like Jabril Peppers. To be honest with you, Jabril Peppers is the only guy in my defensive backfield that I trust. And even then, Peppers is a box safety. He's not really anything much for coverage. He can probably get you some good snaps here and there covering a tight end or a running back, but for the most part, coverage is not his game. And we're really struggling there. So Chase Daniel starting is definitely a help, towards the Giants side of things. But with that being said, that's about the only major injury on the Bears side. The Giants have a lot more on their side. And of course, as the record shows, they're both bad teams. But if you were to, tier them out, the Giants are below the Bears. We got Evan Ingram, who's still out. He was in a walking boot on Monday. I'm not sure if he's going to be there on Sunday. That's definitely a maybe. We had a bunch of dudes in concussion protocol and all over the team. Of course, there's Sterling Shepard, who I do hope they just let him sit out the rest of the season, because his situation is looking a lot more dire and serious than it was before. So I hope he sits out. Janoris Jenkins had a concussion in the Jets game. Not sure if he's going to come back yet. Same for Red Ellison. And then Nate Solder also. In addition to the offensive line, Mike Remmers went out with a hamstring, as well as John Halapio. And none of these guys are confirmed to come back yet. So the Giants are really banged up all over the place. You add that in with the injuries we had from the beginning of the year to guys like Ryan Conley and Tay Davis, and even Lorenzo Carter to a certain degree. It's just not looking well when you consider who we're missing compared to who the Bears are missing for the Giants. And even with players that came back from injury, I already mentioned Carter. Saquon is another one coming back from injury. They're not performing up to their speed as we would like them to perform. Saquon Barkley, since coming back from injury, has not looked himself. And you could argue that is directly correlated to the fact that he was not fully healed. You could argue that maybe it's the coaching, because Shermer isn't doing really anything to help him in his running lanes, in the offensive line creating running lanes, and he's just consistently calling a play that runs Saquon up the middle instead of maybe pitching it outside a little bit, mixing it up a little. And you could argue that the worst thing possible, in my opinion, would be that Saquon's not motivated enough to play to his, 100% level. Because we've seen what this guy can do when he plays at 100% level. We saw it last year in the Bears game. Like I said, Saquon had a great game. The famous leaping over Adrian Amos, which is actually in my intro. I have a slew of sports clips playing in my intro. The final one is Saquon Barkley leaping over Adrian Amos, because that just kind of represented his entire rookie year last year. This guy was leaping above everybody else and going to great bounds to win that rookie of the year and basically be the best running back there is. And we haven't seen that in him since maybe week 1 at Dallas when he averaged 10 yards a carry or something like that. We haven't seen it from Saquon arguably all year. And if the Giants want to win this game, or if they at least want to look competitive, Saquon Barkley has to go back to what he was. And I'm not counting on that, because the 3 reasons I listed as to why he's not performing this way, and it could be all of those 3 or just one of those 3, they're not something that's fixable overnight. You can't fix the offensive line overnight for sure. Pat Shurmur play calling is another thing that will take maybe a couple weeks to fix if he truly wants to fix it, because that's another question there. Maybe Shurmur is fine with his play calling and he just thinks it's the player that's not executing. And then motivation is something that's easy to lose but hard to find. So I'm not counting on any of that to happen, but I do wish that Saquon will come out. I do want him to come out and rip this Bears defense apart, because it would just, put back in my head, put back in my mind that he's still there. Saquon is still Saquon. There's been a lot of questions floating around, a lot of rumors going around. There's been even the blasphemous stuff of people saying he's a bust, which he's just having a down year. It happens. And that would just, help put some of those doubters to rest, even if it is just for this game. And then the rest of the year, he goes back to being okay. We need a similar performance last year from BJ Hill. And if not from BJ Hill, from one of those defensive linemen, because BJ Hill last year against the Bears, I think he had 2 or 3 sacks, and that's what really put him for the Giants rookie record in sacks that Bears game, and he was tearing up the Bears offensive line. We need that from somebody this week, whether it's Dalvin Tomlinson, whether it's Dexter Lawrence, whether it's the new guy in Leonard Williams, or whether BJ Hill makes a comeback, because he's been another person that's been disappointing to say the least this year. But we need a 3-sack game from somebody. The person I'm looking at to realistically get it would be Marcus Golden, because he's been our best pass rusher this year by far. Now our best defensive player by far has been Dexter Lawrence, but he's He's that guy to get us pressure. His pressure leads to sacks, whether it's by Golden or by Carter or somebody else. But somebody I'm looking for to get sacks this game, if I had to pick, would be Marcus Golden. I don't care who we get it from. We need somebody to disrupt the pocket for Chase Daniels and the Bears offense. Don't matter who it comes from. As long as we can disrupt the pocket, we have a chance. Now, in the secondary, Janoris Jenkins. Like I said, man, he's been having... You know what, Jenkins? I'm talking to you directly. You're probably not watching this video, but you had a great game against the Bears last year. Not necessarily for interceptions or whatnot, but for playing good sticky coverage. And you've been having on and off games since Tampa Bay. You had a really good game the very next week against the Redskins. You know, a little bit of an off game against the Vikings. You've been on and off, to say the least. And like I said, your motivation has been questioned. You want to help us win this game. You want to stay a Giant. You want to maybe even sell yourself a little bit more to teams that might be looking to trade for you or something like that. Then come out here and perform. Come out here, do your job. Come out here and do your best. Do what you did last year for us. Because on that final play of the game last year against the Bears, where Chase Daniels just sort of heaved it up for a Hail Mary, it was Janoris Jenkins in single coverage against Allen Robinson going down the middle of the field, and he was the one that broke up the pass and solidified the win for the Giants. I'm going to need that out of you again this week. Alright? On the offensive side, man, there's really a lot of things we got to face on the offensive side. The offensive line, I never want to say, never give up or anything like that on the offensive line, but considering how bad we've been with our starters, and now those starters are out, and 60% of the O-line is all backups, it's going to be hard-pressed for this group to really produce anything worthy of any mention. So what I'll ask from them is, out of the guards, who were our best two players in that group anyway, Hernandez and Zeitler, please continue what you've been doing all year. You guys have been doing a good job. You've been doing a really consistent job. There's times where you let up pressure, but it happens, and I'll just ask you guys to continue the consistent, good performance you've been giving us. Maybe even improve it a little, but nothing much from the guards. From the backups, I'll say don't let the big moment get to you. This will be the first game they actually start because they all came in throughout the Jets game. Don't let the moment get to you and play like you're fighting for your job, because realistically that's what you're doing for guys like Spencer Pulley, Nick Gates, and Eric Smith. You know what I'm saying? You guys did a good job last week considering that you're backups. I'm going to ask for that again, and please protect Daniel Jones, who I'm getting to next. Daniel Jones, I love you, bro. You've been doing a great job for the Giants as our rookie quarterback. You've been up and down, but you've shown more good than bad. And you have a fumbling / turnover problem, to say the least. So please just hold on to the ball. That's what I want to see from DJ, going out through the rest of the season. Just improve your ball security, because interceptions will happen. And interceptions, in my opinion, are a bit harder to fix than ball security. That deals with learning how to know when to throw the ball and what type of coverages to throw the ball. And Jones is a really smart quarterback. He will figure that out. It's the fumbling issue that for some reason he can't seem to get down. And I'll just ask him to please keep it under control this game, because Khalil Mack coming off the edge will exploit that if you let the ball slip out of your hands. You know what I'm saying? Hicks coming up the middle, he will exploit that if you let it happen. This Bears defense, while it has been underperforming, is still a ferocious defense. Nothing to mess with, nothing to sneeze at. So, Jones, please do what you do best, and also try to hold on to the football. Wide receivers, we got Golden Tate, we got Darius Slayton. These guys have been really good for us. Slayton and Tate, both of them, you could switch, you could swap. I love the production out of Slayton. He's probably been our best value pick so far. Maybe if Conley was healthy for the rest of the season, you could argue it was him. But Darius Slayton is really coming into his own as a possible, definitely a number 2. I'm not going to argue number 1 wide receiver yet, but Slayton has surprised a lot of people, and he has a great chemistry, a great connection with Daniel Jones. I expect them to use that to their advantage on Sunday. And Golden Tate has been somebody else when the ball is given to him. He does what he does best, which is make people miss and get yards after the catch. So I'll ask you guys to just continue to do what you did in the Jets game. You both had big games. Bring it back again this game and help our young quarterback out. Help this team win. So that's what I got in terms of what the team needs to do at, various levels to try and win this game. Tight end, my bad, because Evan Ingram is out. Rhett Ellison, he's a good backup. He's really good in blocking, underrated in the pass game. help out a bit more in blocking, right? But that will be down to coaching, whether or not they call a lot of blocking plays for the tight end, or whether or not they want him to be out in the field catching balls and running to the end zone. But like I said, man, that's what I got for y'all. The coaching staff, I am tired of addressing them, and it's no secret that I want them gone, even though coaching staff is complicated. That's a whole different video. I already made several on it, but for the players, this was more of a players video. Just do what you do best, guys, and try to improve, try to fix your flaws. What else can I realistically ask for them? But that's what I got for y'all today in terms of the preview / keys to success. Let me know what you all think. Leave your comments down below. I do love to chat with y'all, discuss some stuff. Sorry to seem a bit rushed, but you know, I'm kind of on a tight time limit right now. So once again, like, share, subscribe, do comment. I'm out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Put your comments down below. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Until next time, I'm out.